Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Here we are in 2026 with a lot of drivetrain options for our mountain bikes, but still small companies like Garbaruk continue to innovate and offer us products that are very exciting. What I have in my hands is version 2 of their Shimano HG Plus compatible cassette. There's a lot of good reasons why I consider this as opposed to the standard Shimano, and we've been using the XT on that drivetrain for quite a few years. So let's take a closer look and see what's exciting about this, how does it work in comparison with Shimano, and whether you should consider one of them instead of the XT or XTR. And I'm very familiar with mixed drivetrains. About 7 years ago, I was running a SRAM Eagle cassette with a full Shimano XTR drivetrain, and I absolutely loved the dome design of the Eagle cassettes at the time. Well, Garbaruk is pretty much built like that. I recently looked at the T-type compatible cassettes, and this cassette comes in the same box, but you see here on the sticker that this is a Shimano HG Plus specific cassette. And as you open the box, you're gonna see the cassette, and the only difference that you're gonna notice right away is the existence of the lock ring. Obviously, on the XD driver, you don't need a lock ring like this. All you need is a cassette tool to tighten it up. Aside from the lock ring, the design of this cassette is very similar to the old dome SRAM design of the Eagle or the current T-type. You have the first 11 cogs made out of one piece of steel, and in the back you have one aluminum cog, a 52 tooth, that's bolted onto the rest of the cassette. The smallest cog is a 10 tooth, the largest cog is a 52 tooth, but I wouldn't get too excited about that in terms of range. Shimano uses a 10 to 51, so that's a 1.96, so 2% increase in range on this cassette versus the Shimano, whether that's Dior, SLX, XT, and XTR. By the way, you guys know that the 8200, 9200 cassette were launched. I have a video telling you the differences in design between the old and the new. I'm gonna make sure to put it up in the corner. And I mentioned that this is version 2.0 of the cassette, and it provides an impressive weight. You see it here on my scale. That is at least 20 grams lighter than XTR and about 120 grams lighter than XT. Then they're talking about compatibility, and yes, this is compatible with any 12-speed drivetrain from Shimano. That includes their HG Plus chains, which are recommended. So whether you run this with a mechanical drivetrain or an electronic from Shimano, it shouldn't make any difference. The other thing that they are mentioning is that this is e-bike compatible, because one of the things that they've improved on this cassette is the shift rumps overall. It's a subtle change. With the naked eye, it's hard to tell what's the big difference in design of the shift ramps, but I can tell you from using the T-type version 2 that these cassettes sound different when you're shifting, but otherwise they work just fine. This different design compared to Shimano actually allows you to install the cassette on the microspline very easily. You just slide it in, then use the provided lock ring, and you tighten this up to 40 Newton meters like you would do with a Shimano cassette. But installation aside, what would be some of the pros and cons of this? You can see it here installed in our XTR drivetrain that used to use the XT cassette, and the shifting is really good up and down the cassette. You're not going to drop the chain if you back pedal on those largest cogs, and not only on the bike stand, here it is on the road and under power, slamming on those gears, the cassette performs well. Mind you, they're talking about this being e-bike compatible, so it better work that way. First ride with the Garbaruk cassette, how was it?
It's been fun. The lightweight is obviously appreciated, and the shifting is similar, if not a little faster than the Shimano, so I'm definitely liking it so far.
So should we all go for a cassette like this when building a Shimano 12-speed today in 2026, whether that's mechanical or Di2? Well, there's a few good reasons why this is definitely an appealing proposition, starting with that 350 grams weight. Obviously, this gives me only one aluminum cog as opposed to 3 of the XTR. This is lighter. The second thing is Garbaruk says that these cassettes will shift well even though your drivetrain might not be adjusted properly. Mind you, I have that how to install 1x12 from Shimano that has a lot of views. Is well done, so follow that video if you're not sure how this is supposed to work. But keep in mind, you have a 52 tooth cassette as opposed to the 51 tooth of Shimano, so you're gonna have to adjust the B gap. It's not a big deal, it's very easy to do. Just line up the 51 tooth mark with the 52 teeth of your cassette and you should be good to go. Gear steps, if you look at this cassette next to Shimano, you're gonna see that up to the middle of cassette, they are identical, and that's where this cassette starts to have slightly wider ranges. The last step here is a 44 to 52 versus 45 to 51 of the Shimano cassettes. I don't think it's a big deal, this being used as a bailout gear most of the time, but you need to be aware of that. And one last thing that these guys are offering us and Shimano doesn't is colors. You can have this largest cog and quite a few colors. Same thing for chain rings that you might want to get from Garbaruk. Highly recommend them. They look cool and they work very well. Or they have the new Shimano Di2 cages. Same thing with jockey wheels. So a lot of options to personalize that bike that you just built. But coming back to the 10 to 52 tooth cassette, what do you guys think about the version 2 of these cassettes? Have you used this or the T-type that we've been using for a while? Do you have any questions for me in regards to the design, the performance, the installation, or anything else? Let me know in the comments below. Did you notice that I do have personalized merch now? I just launched the site. Obviously, if you're interested in supporting the channel, take a look. Maybe you'll find something you like. Hope you liked this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps the channel. And until next time, I hope to see you guys on the trails running whatever drivetrain you like the best. Cheers, guys. Cheers.